This is the new 2021 Porsche 911 Targa, and it is yet another Porsche 911. In fact, it's so yet another Porsche 911 that I'm not going to review it. I've already reviewed the new 911 Carrera S Coupe, the new 911 convertible, the manual transmission, and the new 911 Turbo, and frankly, it just gets a little repetitive. But the Targa does have one very notable quirk worth discovering, and that would be its roof. So today, I'm going to show you how it works. Before I get started, be sure to check out Cars and Bids, which is my new online enthusiast car auction website with daily auctions of cool enthusiast cars from the modern era, the 1980s, 90s, and up. If you're looking to sell a cool car from the modern era, Cars and Bids is the place to do it. You'll get the most money and the most exposure for your cool car. If you're looking to buy a cool car from the modern era, check out Cars and Bids. We have an awesome selection of cool cars with auctions running all the time. Check it all out at carsandbids.com. Okay, so a quick background on the 911 Targa, which means plate in Italian. Back in the early 1970s, there were rumors swirling that convertibles would be banned here in North America. The thinking was that upcoming rollover safety regulations would be too difficult for open roof convertibles to pass. And so Porsche decided to develop a new sort of convertible that had a removable roof panel over the front seats, but the rear structure stayed in place. So if these rollover requirements came to be, the car would still pass, but you could still have an open roof experience. That car was called, of course, the 911 Targa. Several other automakers created similar vehicles to the Targa at this time, all designed to pass the impending anti-convertible legislation or regulations, which never actually came. Convertibles were never outlawed, they continued on, but Porsche decided to keep building the Targa anyway, in addition to the regular 911 convertible. These were popular with people who wanted the 911 coupe look, but also occasionally wanted to remove the roof and have an open-air driving experience. Over the years, however, the Targa became a smaller and smaller part of the 911 lineup. There was just less focus on the car, and Porsche flirted with ditching it entirely until the 991 model, when the Targa sort of came back, and it came back cool. And today in this 992 911, we're going to look at what makes the Targa so cool. Okay, let's start with the roof-up Targa. There are three major ways you can distinguish this car from a regular 911 coupe. One is, of course, the soft top over the front seats, which we'll get to in more detail shortly. Another one is this silver kind of roll bar looking thing behind the front seats. This is one of the coolest design details in modern Porsches. It's a throwback to old Targa models that also had this here to support the roof, and I just love that it's silver, not body colored, to set it off a little bit more from a regular 911 coupe. It looks so good. Then behind the silver panel, you have this large piece of wraparound glass. A regular 911 coupe has a flat piece of glass in the back and then rear quarter windows on the sides, but this has one piece that comes over to the sides. This piece of glass is really cool, although I must say in 30 years when these are ancient, I suspect it's going to be kind of difficult to find this curved piece of 911 Targa glass. But anyway, let's move on to putting the roof up and down. Now, we're in the car, the roof is on, so to start the process of getting it off, you pull on this little button in the center console that looks like a 911 Targa. I love this little button, nice attention to detail, not just a regular convertible button. Anyway, you pull on the button, and the first thing that happens is the entire rear glass piece lifts itself up and moves back to make way for the roof, all in one piece. This is a very large panel to just lift up and move out of the way. Now, once that's done, you can see it reveals like a flat carpeted area back here, and obviously that is where the top is about to go. The next step is the top begins to move back, and these little silver pieces on the silver bar behind the seats move out of the way to allow the top to come back and then fit snugly into this carpeted area below the rear window. Once the top has passed the silver roll bar, the little panels go right back into place, so it looks like one continuous silver roll bar. But anyway, then the glass goes right back into its original position and fits down right on top of the roof, and then the roof is off and the process is complete. Now, if you have the roof off and you want to put it on, obviously the process is pretty much the opposite of what you just saw. You pull this little center console button that looks like a Targa with the roof on, and then the back glass lifts itself up and back to make room for the roof, and the process repeats in reverse. The roof comes back over the silver hoop, the little panels get out of the way for it, the roof then continues on to where it belongs on top of the driver's compartment, and then the back glass goes back into where it belongs, and then the roof in the Targa is on once again, and that is the process. But there are more interesting things worth noting with this process than just that. My very favorite part of the whole thing is the fact that you can do this with just the key. You press this little button on the key that looks like a 911 Targa with the roof off, and you can see it's all happening while I'm standing outside the car. I'm not in the car is not on, the roof is just doing its Targa thing, going down with me standing here pressing the key button. Now, this is especially special because Porsche doesn't allow you to do this if you have a regular 911 Cabriolet, the standard convertible. You can't put the top down using just the key. But in the Targa, you can. And that's a really cool party trick. You walk up to this car, park somewhere, press that key button, and everyone will gather around watching the Targa roof go down. And of course, it isn't just going down. You press the same button again when the roof is already down, and the Targa roof goes up. So if you decide you park the car somewhere, you're leaving for longer than you thought, you want to put the roof up, you can do that with the key. You don't have to get in, turn the car on, press the button, all that stuff. It's all doable on the key. Again, a pretty cool feature and a nice party trick that the Targa offers that the regular convertible doesn't. But anyway, now that you've seen the roof operate the normal way and with the key, two other items worth noting with the Targa. One, all of the roof bars and stabilizer arms in the back are painted in the car's body color. Did you notice that? When the rear glass is back, all of this stuff is blue, matching the car. I guess the thinking is people are going to see this when the glass is off, so you might as well make it look good. I've never seen body color painted roof innards before, but Porsche has done that here. The other interesting thing worth noting about the 911 Targa is sitting in the back. This is an actual drawback compared to the 911 convertible. Now, when you're in the backseat of a 911, it's gonna be tight no matter what. You have no legroom, no knee room. It's absolutely ridiculous back here. But in the convertible, at least you have infinite headroom, so you could kind of sit sideways and sit back here and make it work for a short trip. Not so in the Targa. In fact, it feels even more claustrophobic back here than in the regular 911 coupe. I'm not exactly sure why. I feel like it's because your head is right on this glass, and so you're acutely aware you don't really have any protection in a rollover, and because it seems like you're in like a fishbowl aquarium type thing, and maybe the roofline is even a little bit lower than in the coupe. It certainly feels like it, but either way, it is not comfortable back here for anyone, which is generally true of 911s, but I feel like maybe even a little worse in the Targa. If you plan to take anybody in your back seat, the Targa probably isn't the car for you. Then again, frankly, neither is the 911. And so that's the new Porsche 911 Targa roof. In terms of driving experience, this car drives a lot like other Porsche 911 models. It's fast, it's fun, it's well built, it's stable at high speeds, and it seems to be ever increasing in size and luxury features. The Targa is my favorite 911. It's the 911 I would get if I was buying one new. It's about $13,000 more than the comparable coupe, but it's just so cool. And now you know all about its quirky roof.